everybody. All right, so I am here with an update on the healing space that I'm creating here at Mrs. Mango's. So I'm going to flip around. I'm going to show you what I've done since, I've been working on other things, not just this. So I wanted to show you just kind of an update on what I've got so far. And I think I'm actually ready to start teaching classes. What I did today was just spray painted a few plastic chairs, brought in a couple more tables, and kind of secured them to make sure that when the students are working that they're not sinking into the ground. So but let me go ahead and flip this around and I'll show you. If you're just joining and you're just seeing this for the first time, I'm just going to kind of walk you through what I'm doing here. So I'm at Mrs. Mango's in Rockledge, Florida, and I have adopted an area of her vast property. I think this is about 3 acres. So I've adopted a small portion where I am going to be doing things like art therapy, art classes, sound therapy, different types of things like that in my space. And then let me just flip around and I'll talk at the same time and show you the whole garden. So this is in front of my space, but we're talking about, this is a huge area. I think it's about 3 acres. And you've heard me talk about Mrs. Mango's quite a bit because this is where I actually sell my teas out of. This is the company where I sell my teas out of, and that's the shop right there in the front. And this is the whole property here. So there's actually another healing space which is right in that area, which I'll share with you at another time. I have a friend who's creating a healing space over there as well. But for now, let me just show you my area. I'm not totally completely finished, but I'm ready to accept students. But I wanted to kind of give you an update. So in here, I'm working on getting a few plants put in. I do have one there, but I'm going to be developing that a little bit more. I do have the 2 bamboo pieces that I put in at the entrance, and I've got 2 more pieces which I'm going to use at the top to go across as an entrance. And then at the base, I'm going to be planting some plants that actually will vine up, and kind of wrap themselves around. So I'll have a beautiful entrance here in this space. And I'm considering adding maybe some kind of really thin fabric that kind of blows at the wind, that I can kind of pull across to create a little bit of a room. I don't know if that's making sense. But this is the sign that I did. I actually talked about this a little while back. So I painted that sign. Today I kind of rescued a few of these bricks along here. These were bricks that previous kids have done, and they were all covered up with leaves and debris. So I went in and just kind of cleared off quite a bit of those. So, kind of added to, that art feeling in here. But today, let me just show you the chairs, because this is actually the update. So I spray painted three chairs, just using spray paint that was available. So really artsy, almost kind of like a graffiti look to them. Not anything like pretty, but I just wanted to give that feel of artsy. And I have 3 tables that are set up. They're not like clean right now, but they will be. And underneath, because we are working on the ground, I put a couple pieces of wood so that the tables do not sink into the ground as as they're working. And I think I'll do the same thing with the bench as well. Now, in front here, I have a little bit of a seating space. If there are parents who come and don't necessarily want to work with the kids, they can sit here. It's a nice little seating area where they can just hang out. And I'm going to create another seating area. I'm thinking maybe over here somewhere for facing in, because I do have a lot of, I do have these chairs and that table there. So I might create another seating area kind of around here facing the seating area that's there. Let me see. I did bring in this Japanese lantern that was fallen along the road here, so I brought that in, set at the entrance. I do have a fascination with, Japanese artifacts, so I have that. And then this kind of took a beating during the last storm, so I wanted to kind of dress it up a bit, put some plants in. I got permission to do that with this rickshaw, but I'm kind of hoping that it does hold up a little bit longer, because it was so beautiful in its heyday, absolutely gorgeous. But it's right now it's a sculpture in the garden. I do have a water bath so that if any squirrels come, birds, it's there. And I do have different plants that are set around. Well, this area over here is actually a space for yoga. There's a lady who comes once a week or twice a week to come and teach yoga, so this is her area. And then it's kind of divided, just a very subtle division with the prayer flags that we have hanging here. But there's no obvious division on the ground, because I don't want there to be that kind of a division. But that is her space, so I don't invade. And she has ample room to do her yoga classes. So I have a few more plants here. I went ahead and I just potted this one. I used a piece of driftwood that I found and just put in a few plants in here. So I thought that looks really good. And then I got some cuttings from, can't remember what these are called, but I repotted this piece today since it had some roots on them. And then throughout the garden, I just have let me show you different plants, just to kind of pull, make it a little homey in here. So I have other plants that are hanging up right there. I've got this pillar. I didn't know exactly what to do with it, so I just kind of hung it there. But I'm going to work with it. So I have different spaces in the back where I can display work or sculptures, hang things to dry as the kids are working with them. I do have this little table set up here with a few plants, and I have a little vase, and this is a pine cone which has significance for me. So what do you think? And then over here, let me show you this spot. This is actually at the very entrance. I do have a few sculptural pieces here, and I do have a couple plants that I put in the ground. And these are all ribbons that were created by different kids who came in for different, they hold different events here, like Earth Day. So kids would come in and they create different things. And I thought this was like the perfect spot, and I wanted to keep some of these in here. Actually, I haven't removed any of these little pieces of art that the kids have done, because I think this is such a neat element. It's an art space, and just that flow and that rhythm of the ribbon just hanging here, I really like that. So that is my space, my healing garden here at Mrs. Mango's, and it's open, it's ready. I'm ready to I'm going to be working with homeschool kids, in addition to doing meditations here in the garden, sound healing, art therapy, maybe full moon circles here, new moon events. But yes, we are ready, and we have a couple events. Let me flip back the camera, flip around. We have a couple events that we're planning for the entire garden in the early part of this coming year. So you'll hear a lot more about that as time gets closer. And it's tied in with art and with, yes, all of the, it's going to be a big spiritual event. So stay tuned for that. And you're going to be getting a lot more information on that as time goes by. Anyway, I just wanted to give you the little update on this healing space that I'm creating here. And feel free to leave any comments. Let me know what you think. But you're going to hear more as I get the calendar together. December is going to be maybe 1 or 2 events, and then it really gets going in the new year. All right, so thank you guys for watching. And for those of you who are coming for the replay, thank you again. And I will see you all again real soon.